Welcome to UC second year students. We are studying the chapter number 2, the theory of consumer behavior. In theory of consumer behavior, already we have studied the law of demand and the derivation of a demand curve with indifference curve and the budget constraint. Today we have to study the moment along the demand curve and shift in demand curve with the help of two diagrams. The moment along the demand curve and shift in demand curve with the help of two diagrams. The demand for commodity of the consumer is dependent on the prices of the commodity and the prices of other related goods and the taste of the consumer and the preference of the consumers. These the preference and the prices and the other related prices dependent the consumer demand. So we have the drawn, we have the demand curve with on the assumptions that the income or the prices of the commodity and the taste of the consumer and the prices of other related goods and preference of the consumers. What happens to demand curve when any change in these goods or in these things, the changes in demand can be described in two ways. The two ways are the first one is the moment along the demand curve, it is in change in price, and another way is that the shift in the demand curve other than the price. First of all, we have to study the moment along the demand curve. The moment along the demand curve. When the change in quantity demand of a commodity is only due to price. Only due to price. The demand function shows the relation between the quantity of demand and the prices of the commodity. If other thing remaining constant, means income of the consumer and preference of the consumer, taste of the consumers and prices of other related goods of the constant. If any change in the prices, it leads to change in demand in the same demand curve. Let us see the change in demand, it leads to change in price. When price is less, demand is more. When price is more, demand is less. It is vice versa. So, when price falls, demand rises. When price rises, demand falls. Then it is when the other thing remaining constant. If the prices are higher, demand will be lower. And if the prices are lower, demand will be higher. It is called a law of demand also. The demand is depend upon the price. When price rises, demand falls. When price falls, demand rises. So the diagram shows the upward and the downward slope of the demand curve, the same demand curve. The upward and downward sloping demand curve shows in the same demand curve. It is in the case of movement along with the demand curve. So, for example, we can understand with the help of the diagram, the movement of along with the demand curve. The demand curve slopes downwards or upwards movement with the fall in price and rise in price. Now we can understand by this diagram. The y-axis axis represents the quantity of demand and the y, the vertical lines measures the prices, and dd is the demand curve, which slopes the demand, which slopes the downward from left to right. The prices of the different prices shows different demand for goods, upward sloping and downward sloping in the same demand curve. When price is OP, the quantity demand is OQ. When price is OP, the quantity demand is OQ. When price rises from OP to OP2, the demand decreases from OP to OQ2. Means when the price rises from OP to OP2, demand falls or demand decreases from OQ to OQ2. It means that the demand curve is upward sloping in the same demand. Means the demand falls. When price rises, the demand falls and the demand curve will slopes upwards. Means A to C. It is decrease in demand. When price falls from OP to OP1. When price falls OP to OP1, demand increases from OQ to OQ1. And the demand curve slopes downwards from A to B. It means that when price falls, increase in the demand. It leads to increase in demand. Means A to B in the same demand curve. Same demand curve. As price rises and as price falls, the same demand curves upward sloping and downward sloping by change in the price. The change in the price leads to change in demand. It may be upward slopes or downward slopes. Upward slopes when price rises, demand will fall. Means A to C demand falls or OQ to OQ2, the quantity of demand is decreased. When price falls from OP2 or OP to OP1, price falls. It means the price rises from OP to OP to P to P2. The demand is falls from OQ to OQ2. When price falls from P to P2, the demand increases from Q to Q1, and it is increase in demand A to B. It is extension of demand. It is called as also extension in demand or movement along with the same demand curve. When price rises, the demand decreases from OQ to OQ2 and it decreases from A to C. It is contraction in demand with the same demand curves. It is a movement along with the demand curve. The demand curve is, the demand is depend upon its price. When price rises, demand falls. When price falls, demand rises. The demand curve is upward sloping or movement sloping. It depends upon its price. This is the movement along with the demand curve. Okay?